All right, now we get to the heart of geometry, transformations. And so here we're going to see that we have 4 different kinds of transformations. You've experienced some of these already probably in middle school. So we have what's called a translation. And this just means that you're moving an object either left, right, up, or down. Then you have a reflection, which means that you're taking an object and you are reflecting it. Notice here the purple reflected over the red dotted line and it turned into the green. And that was reflected. The red dotted line acts like a mirror. We also have what's known as a rotation, which is just a turn, okay? And for this, you're going to need an angle of rotation. And so in this case, we have this angle right here. Then we have a dilation, which simply shrinks or enlarges an image, okay? An object. And so for a dilation, you're going to need a scale factor. That's the thing that tells you how much bigger or smaller you got. So here I've defined for you what a transformation is, okay? Here's the definition of a transformation. It takes a point in the plane, and what I mean by in the plane, I mean a coordinate plane, as inputs and gives other points as outputs. This is like a function. If you remember back from algebra, you had this thing called f of x, and that was defined as, say, 2x. And so you had inputs, right? Suppose you had the point x comma y, and that was, say, 2 comma 4. So your input is 2 and your output is 4 because 2 times 2 is 4. So here we got our triangle, and it's defined by ABC, and I wrote the 3 coordinates. And so the rule here says that we want to, using the transformation, right, F, given below, create an image of triangle ABC on the grid below. Label it as A prime, B prime, C prime. Those apostrophes are called primes, okay? So, well, let's take our first point. Our first point is A, and it's 3 comma 3. So the rule says take F, take your point, 3 comma 3, and outputs, you're going to have negative yx. Well, in this case, y, this point here, is 3. So now it's going to be the x value, and it's going to be negative 3. The x stays the same, so we put positive 3, okay? Take another point, f of 9 comma 6. And so now that becomes negative y, so negative 6 comma 9. Lastly, you have f of 9 comma 1, and that becomes negative 1 comma 9. Okay, so now that I have my points, I'm actually going to graph my triangle. Draw attention to the first point that we had here. Notice that I had said that the original point was 3 comma 3, but there's a small typo there. It should be 2 comma 3, making the image negative 3 comma 2. So here I've graphed the new triangle, and I've labeled it A prime, B prime, C prime. And so now that we have that, we can answer the question, what transformation does this rule represent, and did it preserve size and shape? Okay, this is going to be your CFU. This is the part where you need to answer, did it preserve size and shape? And by the word preserves, it just means maintain, okay? Did it maintain the size and shape of the original triangle, triangle ABC?